We are live. You guys,
Yes.
we have the best topic.
Yes. So excited to be here tonight. And this is such a fun platform to use. And I'm so excited to be teaming up with Brooke. I guess I'll introduce myself first, then you can introduce yourself and we'll get started.
Perfect.
Okay. So I'm Shannon. There's probably a ton of people on here who have no idea who I am. I'm actually under Jackie. And so Jackie and I have been friends for a very long time. We actually did a previous direct sales together. And I've been doing Color Street since 2018. It's been a super fun journey. I literally just made a post today talking about how, like, in 2020, I learned how you truly can do this business in pockets of time when the pandemic hit and I started homeschooling my children. And then this year, I'm learning all kinds of new lessons as we're in a different season of life. But I truly love this business. I love direct sales, and I'm excited about chatting these topics tonight.
Yay. So you guys, my name is Brooke Caldwell. I have been doing Color Street since 2019. I am under the unsinkable Molly Fitch. And yeah, I absolutely, you guys, I always was the girl to get my nails done. And then obviously I put on a sample and the rest is history. So here I am, you guys. Yes. And pairing up with Shannon tonight, and we get to talk about this awesome topic that has everybody so hyped up.
All right. So the icebreaker says, what is your favorite professional development? I tend to call it my personal development, to read or listen to. And honestly, this is one of those things that I've always questioned, not recently, obviously, but when I first started personal development, I really questioned even the reason behind personal development. I'm a woman of faith, so I know like spending time like in my Bible and things like that are important, but I've always did question like, what is the importance of personal development? And it is huge, and it comes in so many different forms. For me, probably my favorite like personal development book is Mastering Your Mean Girl. I love that book. It just really talks about, how we all have this person inside of us that chit chats and wants to break us down and paralyze us in our business. And I love the way, just the simple things that she teaches in that book. One of my favorite quotes, it's not even from that book, I don't even know who wrote it, but it's, don't believe everything you think. And I feel like it goes so along with that book. And then I'm a big podcast person. If I'm listening consistently to podcasts, I try to do it daily. It's this girl named Ali Kazara. I say her name wrong all the time, but I am a fangirl of hers. I am obsessed with her. Not only like her business stuff, but also her incredible, just like personal life stuff. So those would probably be my top favorite. What are yours, Brooke?
Yeah. So, I've been doing a lot of, Audible books actually. And I've been really into, Do It Scared. It's just a book by Ruth Soukup, and it's just about, like doing things that obviously, fake it until you make it, right? Like everybody is, just getting behind, obviously, you believing in yourself, and do it scared, obviously. And then let's see what else. I have another really good one that talks about, and I forgot the name of it, but it talks about, you always think that like somebody else always has it so together, and you're trying to be that person when you're just as good as, obviously you are who you are, and it's fine being you, and you rock it being you. So yeah, that has to be another one of my favorites. So yeah. Okay. Obviously, here is the earnings statement that we love to read.
But we're not going to read it.
Nope, not going to read it.
All right. So I'm so excited about our topics today. I feel like they're so business applicable. I get that word wrong all the time, but I feel like you can take all of these things and apply them to your business. So we're going to chat about the art of engagement, how to start or what to do to start conversations, a strategy to engage in 3 areas of your business, and additional resources to learn more. And we got Jackie behind the scenes. So if you hear us like telling
Bossing
to
her
flip.
around.
Yeah, we'll be chatting with her some. So the art of engagement. And so it's, and I'm kind of close, y'all, because I'm on my phone. I'm in a rental and we don't have Wi-Fi yet. So I'm on my phone. So if I get close, that's what it is. Don't think I'm like super strange over here. But to engage means to occupy, attract, involve someone's interest or attention. So yeah.
Perfect. Next. Okay. So personal profile and stories, you guys. So post daily, it's super important. Request new friends daily, you guys. So if you see somebody who you feel like you could, connect with, you guys, send them a friend request. Every time I get an order, I friend request that person, you guys. So always you're building up your audience. Comment on and like others' posts. So always, even if you're like, oh, that person I met somewhere in a nail bar, you guys, always comment on their posts and try to like get to know them, obviously, as people. And then PM to make it more personal. So I love to PM people, you guys. I use my voice a lot in voice clips just to really make it more personal. Next slide.
And I think I want to add something to that because I have to remind myself of this a lot. We can get so stuck on social media and using it as a toy. And I feel like that's such a vicious cycle. And to me, it like paralyzes me in my business. And so like I'm constantly reminding myself and my team, like social media is incredible, but it can hurt your business too if you're only getting on there as a toy rather than using it as a tool. Okay, so invite to your VIP group and post consistently. So you're wanting to invite new members to your group constantly. One of my favorite ways to do that is in my stories. I try to remind myself often, like my profiles are my storefronts. Like that's the storefront to my business is my Facebook profile, and I use my Instagram profile. So I don't want it just like looking like a spam, spam calls or spam posts all the time. So, using it like weekly to invite to your VIP, totally great. But use your stories like crazy. Because one, people can just keep on going through if they don't want to see it. But two, people love stories. Like the stories is the best invention in social media because everybody's nosy. Everybody likes reality TV. So if you can throw in those invitations in your stories, people are going to see them, especially if you're making your stories like super interesting or, things that people want to come check out your stories. Have a posting strategy and be consistent. Obviously, that goes on your personal page and in your VIP page. I'm sure we can all agree if you've ever come to a point in your business where you've slowed down in your VIP page or even on your personal social media outlets, it affects your business dramatically. So that consistency, and every single leader will tell you consistency is key. And it can get really annoying sometimes. Like I've even rolled my eyes like, seriously, but it's just the honest truth. Consistency is key. And getting to know your customers and keeping notes. Also, that's just part of one of those things where if you're building those relationships, those customers are more likely going to, become stylists later or host a party. And I love where I said a second ago, like even taking it a step further and friend requesting those customers, which also will help your algorithms when it comes to your VIP page, because if you're friends with them, they're more likely to see your post in your VIP page. All right, next slide, Jackie.
All right, so just some pro tips, you guys. So repurpose stories into your profile and profile into your VIP. So you can use the same thing over and over and over. And you guys, my generation, like I'm not super into Instagram. Like I try to get into Instagram, and I've made a huge goal of mine to get bigger into Instagram. But so many people use Instagram. You guys, you use the stories and you can paste it right into Instagram stories and it goes right into Facebook and vice versa. So use that same post to reach yourself a little further. And then plan 10 to 15 minutes, you guys, to be active responding to comments. So if somebody posts you say something, post your fur animal, you guys, and they're posting, make sure you're commenting on every single post, right? It's going to help that algorithm be bumping everything up. And I love to ask, what is your dog's name? You know, ask those questions, you guys. Try to get to know them. And then obviously if you ask a question, they'll respond, and then just keep it going. So that's what we love to do. So next slide.
All right, y'all. You're so close. Okay, repurpose example. Okay, so this is basically just showing you what she just talked about. Your VIP group, posting your nails. I feel like in your VIP group, that's where you can get like a little bit more salesy, maybe, without being spammy. You know, that's what your girls are in there for. They're in there to shop. Especially if you're making it fun. You know, I always say, like, I've always liked to think of like my VIP page, and not that I'm just always terrific at this, but it kind of goes along with the repurposing of, you know, kind of making your VIP page, you know, being as comfortable as you are, into kind of like a lifestyle page. I share my kids, I share our homeschool stuff, I share a day at the creek, you know, I share those types of things on top of these. So it doesn't even have to just be, you know, repurposing your nail fees and stuff like that. It can be even the repurposing of other posts. So, you know, you're using one thing in your VIP group to get sales, maybe. In your personal page, you're maybe just sharing about I can't see what that post says, but for me, you know, I'll share how I did my nails real quick before we had to be somewhere, or, you know, whatever it is. Obviously always asking a question, and then, you know, in your stories. I'm a big fan of Instagram. It's one of the biggest selling, like, platforms in the world. And so I'm just a huge fan of Instagram. And the stories is so incredible. And I try to, not every single story, obviously, but always have a running, like, option, whether it be like for someone to say, like, I'll say, sample Saturday. Do you want to try a sample? I never give them the option to give me a negative. It's either like, yeah, girl, yes, send me one. Yeah. So always kind of having that where they can respond in some way, kind of an invitation, whether it's a sample or whether it's your VIP group or whether it's asking something personal, like, should I, you know, buy green apples or red apples? What are your favorite? You know, just kind of so people can interact in your stories is huge. So, you know, it doesn't take just a ton of planning content to be successful on social media. It's just a matter of just repurposing it and using it in different ways. All right, next slide.
Perfect. So we are going to talk about engagement in 3 situations: samples, your VIP group, and nail bars. Next slide.
All right, so engagement ideas for your samples. So on your personal profile and stories, just kind of like what I was talking about a minute ago, holding your samples, using that in your stories. You know, there is nothing wrong with almost having a constant, depending on how engaged you are in your stories. I'm pretty engaged in my stories. I always have like a line of stories going across, you know, and there's nothing wrong with always having that option, you know, kind of available. Your stories go away after 24 hours. So, you know, you can kind of have it where every 4, you know, whatever you want to schedule out, but always having the opportunity for people to snag a sample. And then same with, you know, just your personal Facebook page or Instagram page, using it, you know, weekly. They say like 10% of the people that you're friends with actually see your posts. So don't be scared, you know, that people are going to get tired. And the way I look at it, I'm like, if someone's just tired of me, they can just unfriend me.
Yeah, unfollow.
It's terrible, but I feel like I'm just like, I'm not going to do my thing because I'm afraid of someone to unfollow, you know? So, share it. And then don't just, like, if someone, you know, says, yes, I want to sample, don't just message them and forget to answer. Like, the algorithms, it's so important that you comment back on everyone. Take likes to a PM. That's a super, super, very wise thing to do. Anyone that likes your post, even if they don't comment on it, take it to a PM and invite them. And then obviously follow-ups. Something I have to remind myself of is as obsessed as I am with Color Street and how I feel like it's all around me because a lot of my friends sell it and I lead a team and I wear them constantly. It is not on the forefront of everybody's brain. Color Street. So if you give a girl, you know, a sample or you mail a sample, be sure, one, you have a way to follow up. If you're handling the cashier, you know, a sample at Target, don't be afraid to say, well, give me your number. I want to check back in with you. I'll text you. I'm not gonna call you, I'll text you. Or, be sure you're following up, because I can't tell you how many times that I've given someone a sample and like 3 weeks later they're like, I still haven't tried it. I'm so sorry. I keep forgetting about it, So the follow-up is super important. Next slide.
Okay, so more engagement ideas for samples. So share pictures of your life and include nails. So, right, so you're going to have your favorite book, you guys. So look at my favorite book, right? So you're always showing those nails in your daily post. Again, comment on every single comment, ask a question if able, and then obviously take the likes to a PM and offer a sample. I feel like sometimes people are afraid to comment and say that they want to know more or whatever. So if you take it to a PM and offer a sample, I feel like people are like, hey, yeah, that's great. So, and then like Shannon said earlier, make sure to follow up. Next slide.
All right, engagement with your VIP group. So best practices. Give added value by sharing you. So it's kind of what I was talking about a minute ago. Facebook, I feel like it can be like, for some people, they get so sick of it, and it can be, I tell my team a lot, like social media can be a really dark world out there. And so, be the light in your VIP page and sharing about you. And I know y'all all heard about the fave fives. Having those fave fives and clinging to those is so important. And if you don't know what that is, that's basically about just coming up with 5 things that are you, and that being what you post about. So when you go to like my social media, and you can even go and do like maybe a little bit of homework, it's not in the slides, but go to your social media and just scroll down for 30 seconds and see what you see, or go to your VIP group, since this is what this slide's talking about, and just scroll down for 30 seconds and see what you see. See if it's actually even like who you really are. And so, and they can be anything. Like, it does not have to be this like intense, like, think like mine's my faith. We love Disney World. I love coffee. I love homeschooling, and I just love motherhood. And so, those are the things I talk about. Create a folder or an album to keep ideas and inspiration for post. So super idea. I have like a secret folder on Pinterest. And I don't know why I have it a secret, but I do have it a secret. And it's anytime I see quotes or anything that, 1, inspire me, or 2, that I want to share because I feel inspired by them. And you want to inspire people. I not too long ago went through my people on Instagram and like quit following people that were, even if they had like millions of followers, if they were not inspiring me, I quit following them. So think about that when you are posting in your VIP group and outside of it. Are you inspiring people? And still be real. I mean, still post the dirty and the hard things, but inspiration is huge. Post up to 3 times a day. So, thankfully in our VIP group, you could totally schedule that. You could sit down on Sunday evenings and you could schedule out all of your posts for the entire week. But if you do that, be sure you're going back and making sure they post and making sure you are, following back up. Going live at least weekly. I can tell you when my business is at its best is when I'm going live. 1, it helps your algorithms. And 2, it just kind of gets you face to face. And y'all, I'm so dumb. I'm like the silliest. When I'm on live, like, no lie, every single time I'll talk about the weather, because I feel like I'm like, oh, the weather in Alabama is so awesome. So, you don't have to have this just like super amazing content to go live. And I always do it when I'm doing my nails. And I know some like leaders and some other stylists have like these incredible things, and they get on there and do, like, I do nothing with my hair. I do nothing with my makeup. I just don't have anything special to do, but I can do my nails. And then use Facebook scheduler, like I said, to plan out for sure. All right, next.
Okay, so engagement with nail bars, you guys. So make it personal when it's virtual. So obviously right at this time, maybe you are going out, venturing out a bit more, and having at-home parties. But because a lot of our parties are virtual, you guys, make sure you're making those connections. PM the guests, ask how they know the host, do interactive games, and have your guests PM you the answer. And then after nail bars, private message them of a thank you. And huge fan of the face of the voice clip. And you guys, once you get, I like to make sure that I have that communication going out to a lot of the guests, because if we're going to play some sort of a game or something and they have to come to PM me, you guys, so now we have some sort of a communication line built. And that makes it a little bit more easier if they have questions, and then they feel like they know me. So then it's just making it more personal for them to connect to you and feel like they have a person to talk to. So I always like to make sure that I'm PMing the guests, even just like, oh, hey, you've tried Color Street before. What is your favorite set, right? So just always having that communication line open for them. Next slide.
All right, engagement, ideas, activities. All right, take it personal. So when you're moving from social media engagement to one-on-one conversation, and this can come in a lot of different forms. If you see somebody that, I'll just use one of my examples from the other day. I went to this creek and I posted a picture of the creek. So if I had seen someone that posted that, here's a better example. I saw a mom take their kids to a really cool play place, and she posted a picture of it. And so obviously I liked the picture. I think I said, oh, how fun. But y'all, I messaged her and I said, where in the world is this place? Because I didn't want to just necessarily start a conversation on her photo when I could, take it into a private message and talk to her on there. And then maybe it'll lead to more things. Maybe maybe I take my kids there and I reach back out to her, or, back to the algorithms. You start that personal message. She's going to see my post more because now we're on a personal level, even though we don't know each other, and so anytime you can do that, find ways to do that. If you see someone with a cute outfit on, like their picture, comment on how cute they look, but message them and say, all right, I need to know where you get your dress, or whatever, whatever the case is. There's always lots of different ways you can make it personal. Next slide.
Yep. So just some examples, like Shannon was talking about. So if you have a sample post, and they like it, hey, Michelle, thank you so much for liking my post today with the pretty nails. Have you tried Color Street yet? I would love to send you a sample, yada, yada, keep the conversation going from there. So, and then from just a life post, just like Shannon said, bring it to the inbox, you guys. Hey, Michelle, I see that you can relate to the busy mom life. What is your best tip? So, just making it more personal and really reaching out to them and connecting with them. If they're a mom, you're a mom, you obviously can talk about that. You love the dress that, like Shannon was just talking about. So really try to connect with them on a way deeper level than what, you're posting about. It doesn't always have to be nails. So next slide.
All right, resources to learn more. Okay, so these are some connect the dots that are coming up. Oh, no, wait, I'm sorry. These are in your app.
Yep.
Anyways, so these are in your app. If you don't know, there's tons of amazing training in your app, and y'all should go check them out. They, you don't want to miss out on these. And if you are missing out on the connect the dots, be sure you're catching those, because you can't, they're hard, you don't want to miss out on them.
And perfect personal development, you guys. If you're hanging outside, catching some sun this time of the year, well, we're in Wisconsin, you're in Alabama, so way different on the spectrum. But yeah, you guys listen, make sure that you're listening to some of these trainings while you're just hanging out, by yourself, kind of just do some deep reflection. So love it.
Or even if you're not hanging out by yourself, because I never get alone time, but yeah, I'll do it when I'm folding my laundry. Just turn on. It's so easy to listen to things nowadays. And that's what, same with books. If you're not a book reader, listen to books. I like to actually read a book because I like to highlight and stuff, but I also love podcasts. So I love this quote. When I saw this quote, when I was looking over, sorry, y'all, I'm sitting here petting my dog. I made an Instagram. I made Instagram stories a minute ago talking about how my dog is like a child when my children are asleep. Anyway, so the best way to get engagement on social media is to be engaging on social media. Goes back to everything we talked about, because it's so true. If you're using social media as a tool, you're going to be successful at your business. It's when we allow it to become a toy in our life. I feel like it can kind of not ruin your business, obviously, but I feel like I become very distracted. So I'm going to write this quote down and put it on my computer so I can see it.
Yeah. And sometimes I do have to bring myself back a little bit because somebody will say, hey, did you see that so-and-so got engaged? And I'll be like, no. Right. Because I'm so like, you guys, all I see are nail fees all day long. I have to remind myself to go out into the real world and see what's really happening with people. I miss so many things. Like so-and-so is having a baby, but so I'm like really trying to make it an effort to come back to reality and, go through those posts and comment on everything. Even if you don't know what to say, beautiful, just make some sort of comment and try to connect with the person. Because I know when I make a post and somebody comments on my posts, I love that. I love when people are interactive like that. So I always make sure to comment.
Now, something I did hear about algorithms is that you have for your comments to make, and this might be helpful. It's totally like not in this training at all, but to make your comments like go like to help the algorithms, it has to be 3. It's either 3 or 4 words and no emojis. Like emojis don't count. Obviously you could add emojis, but so that's just kind of a helpful tip to take with you. Like, maybe not saying, oh, cool, like actually like having to come up with, and I've caught myself a million times being like, oh shoot, I gotta have 3 or 4 words.
Yep. No, that is a good call out.
All right, next slide, which I think is another quote. Oh no, take action.
Okay, so take action, you guys. So create your active engagement posting strategy. Set goals for weekly growth in your VIP group. Take engagement personal with one-on-one relationship building, and repeat, you guys. Do it all over again. Next slide.
And another quote. As the world becomes a more digital place, we cannot forget about the human connection. Obviously, so very true. Mm-hmm. And, there's not always a time where you're obviously going to be able to go sit down with the person that comments on your, on your posts or whatever, but taking it to the personal message. Like Brooke was saying a minute ago, the voice I'm a huge voice text person. Like me and my girlfriends, we voice text. Like it's literally my sanity. We voice text all day long. It's just hearing that voice and the way life is now, just kind of hearing it rather than seeing the words come out, and then if you can make that actual human connection, if you have someone that hosts a party and invite them out to coffee to talk about the business or, whatever you feel. I've had coffee with several potentials and people that became my stylists. And I'll tell you this, if they're meeting you for coffee, they're going to sign up because they're not going to take time out of their day. So if you can get those coffee dates, or if you're not a coffee person, I don't know. But if you can get those dates, I feel like those are like people that are super interested.
Yeah. And the other thing that you touched on too was, I know for me using voice clips, because I'm so expressive in my tone, you can, when people text something really fast, like, I don't even know an example. They text something and you can take that 400 different ways and people can be like, oh my gosh, that was so rude. But really, so I love to voice text because I don't ever mean to come across rude. And I just want people to, do you know what I mean? Like, it's so much more personal when they can hear your voice and know what you mean versus like something they can construe from a text message. So that's really important too.
If I'm ever texting my husband, I'm like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm like, oh, well, your text sounded rude.
Yeah,
like,
I know. Yeah. I do that all the time to my husband. I always think, I'm like, boy, you're crabby. He's like, I'm not. I said, sure. And I was like, but you said, sure. You know what I mean? So yeah, I hear ya.
All right. I don't think there's any more slides, but I will add this just kind of for a final thought as like some homework, some takeaway beside the previous slide. Go check your social media, scroll through it. Like I said a minute ago for 30 seconds, send it to your leader. I'll do that kind of check up on my team page sometimes, like post a screen video of the first 15 to 30 seconds of your social media outlet. And let's see what you're doing out there. Let's see if you're, using your social media to grow your business, even if it's not Color Street, it shouldn't be Color Street. So that's homework. And then find some personal development, because I feel like that you start with personal development to trickle down from there. All right.
Love it. Yay. Okay. You guys, we are so honored that we were chosen to do this awesome training on social media engagement, because what an awesome topic. So thank you, Molly and Jackie, for allowing us to take a little bit of your time and share with you all the good things. So that's all I got. What about you, Shannon? Are we good?
I'm good.
Okay. You guys, talk to you later.